I know when we first started thinking about it, at least for me, I wanted to do something cool, and I wanted to go somewhere I hadn't been before.
Surprise. Wait, you have to be more specific.
Okay, when I say something cool, I mean either we're going hunting or we're going fishing.
So Veland Holdings hooked us up with Carlos. And Carlos, I touched base with him on Thursday to see what time we needed to meet him and where. He said, just come meet us 8 o'clock. And I said, 8 o'clock? I said, earlier the better, huh? And he goes, well, yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, earlier is the better. And I'm just like, okay, so we're not that serious, but I mean, we're kind of serious.
Yeah, like we want to go catch fish.
I mean, and he's like, oh, okay, you know.
We weren't leaving till Monday, so we kind of had like 2 days.
2 full days.
Yeah, 2 full days of like just doing whatever. Tejas. Tejas Hunt Club Podcast is the podcast for you and you and you and you.
You like hearing yourself say that?
No, it's from a show.
From what?
I can't remember. The guys say it at work all the time.
Okay, but you don't know what it's from?
Yeah, I have to look it up. I don't know.
Oh, you knew at one point?
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't remember.
How you can look it up? Just say that to Google.
Sure you probably do.
Google has audio recognition. Type. Is that what it is? Or is it type? Tight.
It's from Breaking Bad, apparently.
Oh, like tight.
Yeah.
Like tighten something.
Yeah.
I know what you were saying.
Yeah. Tight.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Tejas Hunt Club Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon McDowell, joined by
Meagan McDowell.
And today we're going to be talking about our honeymoon trip to Belize.
Mm-hmm. San
Pedro Belize. You'll be able to go over to the YouTube channel and see some of the work we've done in the outdoor industry. You'll see some of our hunting trips, fishing trips that we've been on. So we got a lot of content on there. Coming up, we'll have some content, of course, around my Real Avid box that I have. We got a couple videos up right now, but I'm coming up close to getting some builds done and figuring out some other stuff. So we'll have some more videos with all of that gear and DIY gunsmithing sets. So that'll be real cool.
And if they know anything, they know what it's like to piece things together. And that's what we're literally piecing our guns together.
Yeah.
So it's taking a little while.
I mean, there's different ways you can go about it, of course. Like you can go buy ARs and stuff off the shelf.
Absolutely.
But I feel like learning, I'm not putting the whole thing together. Like I did the lower, and then I bought a complete upper. So I didn't have to do any of the barrel work or anything like that. I bought it all complete. So I'm dipping my toe in it. I'm not full-fledged just diving in, putting all my stuff.
He's like, oh, I can get a couple lowers.
Yeah.
Look how cool these are.
They were on sale.
And then I wanted one.
Yeah. You got to take advantage of those things because you never know.
So now there's no going back and I have to build one.
Exactly. And we'll be coming out with some content on Megan's build as well.
I'm excited about that. But
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to go to the range and do all that stuff, sight it in. Like I said, we got a lot of gear and stuff from Real Avid that we're going to put to pretty good use, and y'all be able to see it. And if you so choose to, need some gunsmithing gear, Real Avid will be your choice.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of content, the entire Tejas Hunt Club podcast actually falls under, or the brand rather, Tejas Hunt Club brand, falls under our media company, Bar MC Media. If you guys didn't already know, Brandon and I co-founded a media company. We've been shooting together since 2017, I believe. Yeah. So we do specialize in outdoor, which includes rodeo, hunting, fishing, content creation, which that's in a nutshell. But a lot of that also involves digital marketing consulting, social media marketing consulting, a lot of different things that we do in our full-time jobs that help supplement the knowledge that we can bring to the table on the media side for our own company. So I work actually full-time managing a marketing firm, and I have a team underneath me. And then Brandon, you work at Silencer Shop.
Yeah. So I'm the marketing coordinator at Silencer Shop. We sell suppressors. Well, we distribute suppressors. We have a dealer network all throughout the country. And we have dealers. We have a kiosk system that you go in, do your fingerprints, all your information one time, and you can purchase suppressors from your home. So I get to help in creating all that content and managing the safe pretty much. So all the cool guns and new suppressors and everything I get to look at first. Or one of the first people to get to see them. So it's a pretty cool job. We get to create a lot of cool stuff. I work with an awesome group of guys. I have a cool boss, so
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we both have two full-time jobs during the day, but we do love pursuing the passion on the side. So that's kind of the brainchild, honestly, of Brandon Tejas Hunt Club. At least I know Barmsey was kind of your vision as a brand for your cattle company, and then our vision as a brand. But Tejas itself had a lot of meaning for you.
Yeah, yeah. So first, it started off as another avenue for us to post content and stuff. From separate from Barmsey Media, because we went hunting with our friends and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and of course during COVID, that's pretty much all we were
Yeah.
doing was hunting and fishing. So we needed another place we were to post that content that we were creating, and I created the Tejas Hunt Club. It came out of an idea of hunting with your friends. So Tejas, which means friendship, and hunt club, kind of doing like a throwback to the old
The
hunt
old school.
clubs. Yeah, the old school hunt clubs that used to be around the South and Texas all the way down to the East Coast. So kind of giving a homage to that while also adding in something that I really liked, which is of course hunting with your friends, because that's all what we all like doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, we like to kill big deer, we like to chase big animals and all that kind of stuff, but it's really kind of talking about like
The
the
experiences.
experience and
Yeah.
the time spent with your family and friends and being outdoors. Because I mean, if you kill something, what's the next thing you're going to do? Either you're going to call your dad, or you call your mom, or call your best friend, or like run back to camp and talk and be with them about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we kind of thought about when we created this. And then of course we started the podcast because we get to meet cool people every day, get to meet cool people at our day jobs, get to meet cool
Yeah.
people through Barm C, and then this was an avenue to and get them on a podcast and tell our listeners, our new listeners, and everybody all the stories that we get to hear while we're at these hunting camps, while we're filming
Mm-hmm.
or going to conferences and stuff like that. Because a lot of the people that we're around in the hunting and outdoor space and in the rodeo space, they all hunt like being outdoors. So
Yeah.
this is a way to really talk about that.
Those two niche markets mesh a lot. That's why when I say we shoot outdoors, like it includes rodeo, hunting, fishing. I start with rodeo because that was like our core, right?
Yep.
And then we got into hunting and fishing a lot during COVID. So it's just been an adventure. And like Brandon mentioned, we're meeting a lot of really cool people who are, either have a strong voice or are a strong message in the
Yep.
industry. Sometimes, some people that never have been on a podcast before, but they have really cool stories to tell.
Exactly.
So it's a range of everything. So anyway, that's kind of our mission, and I'll let Brandon wrap it up. But I mean, my side of that is we have a platform that we can use, right, to help not only spread the word of conservation, but in general help at least make a difference how we can, right? Which
Yep.
is more reach of the messages from these people and more information and facts and just more education
Exactly.
for both markets, really. I mean, we've had rodeo people and hunting people alike.
Yep. And it's a way, like, at the end of the day, like, I know I've tried to do something, tried to spread the
Yeah.
message about what we need to do, because like you said, you have things going on like Colorado and Washington right now that, like, if the vote doesn't go right in November, then there could be no mountain lion or bobcat hunting. Even bobcat hunting is even outlawed, but
Mm-hmm.
no mountain lion hunting in the state of Colorado, and that's crazy to me. We see what happens in California when they outlaw stuff like that, and they're not managing predators. And like, we've even had it here in Texas where people are trying to change laws. So
It just
it's
goes against everything that is the North American conservation model
yeah.
at
So
its core.
we're trying to spread that message and get more people involved. Of course, like, we're getting, to the point where some of these leaders and stuff are aging out. And if we, as 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, listening and out there, if we don't step into those positions, the people that do step in those positions aren't going to be friendly to what we want to do. And like I said, I know it's a lot to ask with day jobs and families and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. But if you could eke out any amount of time to do something, like I said,
Share something
How
on
makes it real
Facebook. Yeah,
easy
go
to do
subscribe to
stuff
Howl.
and do stuff like that. So like I said, that's going to be the message we kind of spread on this podcast. If
Yeah.
you listen to podcasts before, it's going to keep going. So hopefully, it connects with some of y'all. And then for the ones that are already doing it, keep doing it. Same thing we're doing. So,
We'd love to hear from you too.
yeah. And I mean, if you, like I said, if you know of stuff going on, events, Ducks Unlimited, anything like that, we'd love to promote it on the podcast to get more people there. Rocky Mountain Elk
Yeah,
Foundation,
we
anything,
sponsored a hog
SCI.
hunt,
Yep.
right?
All kinds of stuff. So, we'll try our best to get those events and stuff spread out there and get more people attending to them.
Cool.
With that all being said, back to our honeymoon trip and the subject of this podcast. I know when we first started thinking about it, at least for me, I wanted to do something cool, and I wanted to go somewhere I hadn't been before.
Surprise.
Like which
something outdoor cool. He has to be more specific.
Okay, when I say something cool, I mean either we're going hunting or we're going fishing. One of the two. Exactly. Not we don't have to do it the whole time, but one of those days, or at least if we're hunting, it's gonna have to be a couple days. But fishing, I can do at least one day of fishing if I'm gonna go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I either wanted to go to kind of like somewhere tropical and go fishing.
If we could really go where we wanted to go, we would have gone to South Africa.
Yeah.
That's where we really would have gone.
That's the truth. We'd have gone to South Africa. But that wasn't really in the books.
No.
Right now.
Nor in the budget.
No. So... no, it was not in the budget.
One day.
Yeah. Like it would have been we could have
gone.
We could have gone.
Let me set this straight. Yeah. We could have gone to South Africa. We could have gone
to South Africa, but it wouldn't have been as good as
we would have been probably not paying rent when we got back or something, trying to figure out some way to we'll just move into an RV.
But it wouldn't have worked out like we wanted to.
Yeah.
But the other option that I had proposed, because it was springtime, was to go to Canada because they opened the borders back up and go bear hunting. And that was the one that I was really trying to push. But Meagan came to me one day and she said, "Hey, look what I got."
My bestie Brandy.
Yeah.
She said, "I have this not all inclusive. I shouldn't say that. I have." She came to me and she said, "I have this 5-night stay that we bought at an auction before COVID. We're never going to go on this trip. You know, if they'll honor this, would you want to go?" Like, she didn't even say our honeymoon, but she was like, "It would be a cool honeymoon trip, or you could just go whenever, right? Yeah. Like, will you use this trip?" And I wanted to immediately say, "Yep, I'll take it." But of course, I'm just like, let me check out and make sure we can go fishing. And I did all the and I knew Belize was a fishing destination, but I did not know the timing of the year, which we'll talk about that here in a minute. But it's not the tarpon permit bonefish time of year in May.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
And it kind of, when you think about Belize, when you think about going, to Mexico, south of the Yucatan or down to South America, that's kind of what you're going after.
Yeah.
And honestly, after going in Florida and catching tarpon, I was real excited to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go catch one somewhere else too."
Well, we did talk about before we left, though.
Yeah. I mean, we
prepared
did. Yeah. So
your expectations.
Yeah, it wasn't seasoned for tarpon, of course, but in the back of my mind, I knew it was possible.
Yeah.
It wasn't guaranteed, but it was possible.
Yeah. So anyway, we looked at the flights, and it's actually pretty affordable to fly out of Houston to Belize City and then take a little hopper flight. You could do the hopper flight or not trolley, that's the wrong word. Ferry. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, we left on Wednesday. Yes.
Yeah.
We left on Wednesday, came back Monday. So we left on Wednesday. We flew out of Austin to Houston, which was like one of those 35 Southwest sales, which was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, from Houston to there was, what did you expect? You were like, how long is this flight again?
Yeah, because, I'll be honest. So up until about a week before we left, I really didn't know where we were going, technically on the map, if I'm being honest.
You knew we were going south.
So I knew we were going south, but when she said Belize, I don't know why, but my mind just went straight South America. I thought Belize was on the top of South America. If you can look, if you know what a map looks like, that's where I thought it was. I didn't realize that it was on the bottom part of the Yucatan Peninsula. So it wasn't, I thought the flight was going to be a little bit longer, but when she told me 2.5 hours, when I asked her, I was like, let me look this up on the map. And I looked and I'm like, oh, we're just going right there. Cozumel, Cancun's right above it. We're golden. We're dang near up at the Mexico border anyway. Mm-hmm. So that was real. I mean, I like flying. The flying part doesn't get me. It's being in a plane. My shoulders, if you're watching the video, if you're seeing any of our videos, I ain't no small boy. So
no.
Being stuck in in an airplane seat is not fun for me. Like I can't
that
really
you don't like security at
get
all.
comfortable.
Like you
Yeah,
hate
because I
going
get
through.
searched.
He
Like,
hates going through security.
I don't know why. They just pick me out and they just want to search me. I think I'm trafficking or something. I don't know.
It does happen to you a lot though. In your bags too.
Yeah, they always got to pull me aside. I don't know why. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, I like flying. I actually, want to get my helicopter license one day, but like it's like sitting in a seat is pretty.
And then we get on this little tiny hopper plane.
Oh my god!
I want to put the picture up on this episode.
We can put the picture up once again.
It is hilarious, y'all.
Okay, a little crunchy here.
It was about 15 people.
And I had been on one. Like I'd been on one when I was in Hawaii and Alaska.
Yeah.
But this one, it wasn't even that small, but you're right. It was like a little 16-seater.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, like 14.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it was tight. And we had our backpacks.
Like sitting on our lap and everything. And I mean, like, obviously one day, we've talked about it before, I want to go to Alaska and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, riding in those planes is a little bit better. Or it's a whole lot smaller. It's a step down. But I don't know. It's just all the rest of the people being in there. I guess if it's just like me and the pilot, it would be like.
It was hot and humid.
Yeah, if it's just me and the pilot, it'll be pretty chill. Even if it's in a small space.
You thought it was cool how close we were.
Yeah. Like I got to see the dash and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I like flying. I fly drones. So I like flying and stuff like that. Not into it as much lately, but I'll get back into it a little bit more. Some new drones that came out.
I know. They're on the wish list for sure.
Yeah.
A drone upgrade.
Like when I was flying the other day at Miss Butler's place in Beeville, like it was like moving it around was like, oh, this is fun, but like, man, I could do a little bit cooler stuff. Like I've flown newer models and I know what they can do compared to my Mavic, but we'll get it worked out. We'll get it worked out.
So interesting though, when we were on the hopper plane, you'd think you'd be able to see more, like getting closer to the island, but they had a Saharan dust, I believe is what they said it was. And we get that in Texas, especially where we grew up, like along the coast, like you get every now and then. Summer. Houston, I know y'all see it. But it was like hazy the first couple days. So especially when we were flying in, like you can't see anything. And then you're on this little bitty hopper flight. You know there's an island somewhere between where you just took off and where you're about to land in 10 minutes, but you didn't see it till we were landing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was kind of sketchy.
You get like when we were coming
the water
through
was
the clouds,
pretty once you got close enough.
You could see like when we were coming through the clouds, every little patches and stuff, you could see the water. And that looked real good. And the reefs and all that, like you knew that there was like good fish in there. Like it looked fishy.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier. So the tarpon and the bonefish and the permit are on the reef.
Yeah.
And Belize, I learned this while I was there. It's a fun fact. Belize has the second largest besides the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, it has the second largest natural reef. And it's stunning. Like, I mean, it's so cool to see from the air for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They have all kinds of cool things you can go and do. We didn't really get to go do the nurse shark thing, but like there's all kinds of things on that side. However, in addition to the Saharan dust, it was windy season, and I asked him.
Hence the blowing in of the Saharan dust. Yeah,
Bing. I didn't even put that together till just now. It's funny, but no, it was. I looked at the weather before we left, and I was like, "It's not going to be. It's just going to be between 82 and 89 degrees, like the whole time." There was no chance of rain, but the wind was like 15 to 20. Well, then it bumped up by the time we got there. It was like 20 to 35, 30 to 35, like depending on where you were. So it was windy. And so reef fishing was impossible. Like that's kind of one of the things we learned while we got on the boat.
You had to be real mad at them if you're going out there.
Especially fly fishing. Kind of I mean, I've seen people do it on YouTube. Yeah. Like all power to you, especially in the rain and stuff. Like I've seen those crazy guys, but I do not fly fish regularly.
No. And I've never even picked up a fly rod, so that wasn't really even in the cards for me. No. And I know you have.
It's not something that's not like a jet ski rental. Yeah, you don't get to go.
Yeah, no, you don't just get to
fly
do that.
Fishing
But you've been fly fishing.
Yeah, I have.
Like on freshwater. But but at least I don't know. At least you've ridden the bike once. Like if that makes sense, you know.
I could probably ride down the road if I needed to.
Yeah, exactly. Like it might not be perfect, but you're not gonna fall over. Exactly. and I haven't even gotten to that step.
Yeah.
So one day we fished conventional, and it was a lot of fun. Like once we landed and got on the island, it was actually pretty cool. So there's not many vehicles on the road. So the only people that really have like cars or trucks are like the hotels and stuff to move produce and things around,
or dump trucks,
or dump trucks like for construction and stuff. But other than that, everybody's driving a golf cart. So it's cool. Gas powered golf cart. But I will say, the majority of the locals, like, I don't know if they put a governor. No. I don't know if they put a governor on the rented golf carts, but some of them locals, like, they had a little extra juice on their golf carts.
Wouldn't you if you were a local?
Hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying what would happen. Yeah. I'm not knocking it.
Putt-putting.
Yeah, a little bit. But we actually got picked up right from the airport, taken to the hotel. We stayed at the Alaya, which is a beautiful place. Like,
thanks, Brandy, again.
Yeah, thank you, Brandy.
It's wonderful.
But as soon as we got there to the hotel, they had these like little drinks for us, like hibiscus juice,
hibiscus water with cucumber.
Hey, it was pretty good because
cube.
It was humid down there, like middle of August, South Texas on the coast, humid. So it's nothing we hadn't been in
the
before.
Wind was blowing, but outside of that, it was
if the wind wasn't blowing, it would have been a little bit worse. But like it was humid. You could tell some of the people that weren't used to that were staying down there. They probably weren't too happy about the way the weather was.
To them.
Yeah, but it was just like being in the summer here in Texas. Just a little bit windier. But the place we stayed at was beautiful. Like I said, thanks again, Brandy, for being there. They had pools, different bars and stuff you could go to.
Frozen coconut mojitos.
Yeah, frozen coconut mojitos. They had some pretty good margaritas as well.
If you go to Belize,
some pretty good food.
You have to get a frozen coconut mojito.
Yeah, there's a couple bars down there.
Or a panty ripper. Remember that one? I was like, oh, what a weird name for a drink. Yeah. Panty Ripper.
Yeah.
And then some of them had Panty Ripper, like with an A. And I'm like, what is... And so apparently it's the drink of... Like, it's like the official Belize drink is a Panty Ripper.
Gotcha. Well, I guess Belize got a little wild side too.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I saw it on a sign right before we left. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why it's at every single restaurant.
Yeah, that makes sense now. That's pretty funny. Like you said, I got to the resort and everything. Everything was beautiful. That first day, we really didn't do much. We kind of rode around, checked stuff out, kind of got the site, got bearings, kind of like where stuff was.
There's only one road on the island. You just go up and down this one road and you get through town for like a split second, but it's all one road.
Yeah, everything's running north and south. Like the widest part of this island's like it's
3 miles?
San Pedro, by the way, San Pedro Belize. But like the widest point, so like 3 miles, 3.5 miles, something like that. Yeah. But it's pretty long, but like I said, it's real narrow. But we were staying kind of on the southern end. I guess you'd say like the southern end of downtown.
Mm-hmm. We weren't far from the airport.
Yeah, we were like pretty close to the airport and like the southern end of downtown, which I think was a cool spot to be because like there's a lot of stuff on the northern end of the island, but it's a long golf cart ride. Yeah. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Out to Secret Beach. But that's a cool little place we passed by. We were running out to go fishing.
The irony of it, it's not so secret.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
not
there.
So secret at all.
Exactly. But there's a lot of stuff in between there too, like on the northern end of the island, you go over the bridge and everything, and there's different restaurants and everything like that. But like I said, the first day we just kind of chilled, went to a couple bars, went to Palapas, which is a staple in San Pedro.
We went there 3 times, I think.
If you visit San Pedro, you have to go to Palapas. Palapa.
No S.
No S.
I'm pretty positive. You kept saying Palapas.
Palapas?
I think it's Palapa. I'll check it.
Thank you.
Fact check.
Yeah, but we want to give a big shout out to Chuck Palapa.
And that's what the structure is called, actually.
Oh, I got you. That's what makes more sense now. But big shout out to Chuck and Sarah Garrison for giving us some tips and recommendations on places that we need to visit.
Yeah, they were actually at Palapa, I think, less than a week from when we left.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Chuck was on stage playing the guitar. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we appreciate y'all giving us those recommendations. They were definitely worth it to check out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we hung out there for a little bit. We got massages.
Oh, best massage of my life.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's gonna be hard to beat.
There's, man, I wish I just had it where I could just fly down there and get a massage and fly back.
I know.
Because
it was great. It's a little, okay, just let me preface this. When you're booking a massage in Belize, Like they have legitimate websites with all the ratings and like just it's when you get there when you get there is most of the bars, and we hadn't even been to a lot of bars at this point. It was like the first thing we went and did. So we didn't even realize that most everything is on a dock.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Pretty much the restaurants, the bars, like all the diving schools and everything launched off of a dock.
Yep.
And so like I was looking for the massage sign like on the buildings. Brandon's getting frustrated with me. He's like, "Where are we going?" And I'm like, "I think on that dock." And so we went on the dock and there was like a scuba rental right next to this massage place. And there's like only one room, a common room. And so it was really cool though, because once you're in and settled, you're like looking down into the cracks where the water is like sloshing underneath you.
Yeah,
and
like
the
it's
breeze.
pretty cool once you get
It
in
was
there, but like
so
walking
nice.
up to it, it's like, man, we're about to get drunk.
It was.
and
I'm glad that it was
They're just gonna feed
us
just
and not
open-
just me.
just
like
open the trap door and feed us to the sharks.
I was like, I have a big man with me, okay?
Just open the trap door.
Yeah.
Right in the water.
But it was like I booked it not knowing it would be more than like a 60-minute massage. And
Yeah.
we woke up like an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes later.
I went straight to
We
sleep.
were in a different planet.
I went straight to sleep. But like I said, best massage
You
I've
were
ever
snoring.
had. I was over there. I was out
That's
like
right.
a light, dude. I was
I
about as
forgot.
relaxed as you can get, for sure. I love a good
It
massage.
was
It's nice.
good. It was good.
But yeah, so that was a lot of fun getting that like right off the bat the first day. Kind of beat that, riding on that
It was
airplane
Oasis
and all that
day
kind of
spa.
stuff. So that really helped out having it on the first day like that. And then afterwards we had like some fruit bars, like
Oh, yeah.
had a little fruit laid
Local
out
fruit.
and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty good. So that was the first day, which we kind of wanted to chill just because we knew the second day we were going fishing. And we were going to wake up kind of early, but like you
I called. Okay,
yeah.
so I got hooked up with VLand and Holdings.
Yep.
Through Brandon Bredemeyer.
Shout out Brandon.
With SCI West Texas, a good buddy of Brandon's and mine.
Yep, and it was just his birthday, by the way. So
happy
if you
belated
follow
birthday.
him or go follow him, tell him happy belated birthday.
So Joe was the man that Brandon hooked us up with, and
Yep.
Joe hooked us up with Carlos.
Yep.
So VLand Holdings hooked us up with Carlos. And Carlos, I touched base with him on Thursday, that same day we got massages, just to see what time we needed to meet him and where. And we still had to find the dock for one. But the other fact was, he said, "Oh, just come meet us 8:00." And I said, 8:00? I said, "Earlier the better, huh?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, earlier is the better." And I'm just like, okay, so we're not that serious, but I mean, we're kind of serious.
Yeah, like we want to go catch fish.
I mean, and he's like, "Oh, okay,
yeah.
So we met him at 7.
So after we got squared away with Carlos and what time we were going to meet, we actually went and picked another one of Chuck and Sarah's recommendations to have dinner.
Oh,
and
so
boy, was it a good one. It's this restaurant called Carambas. And
there is an S on the one.
Carambas. There's an S on this one. Oh my gosh. All right. But you have kind of two ways to order food at Carambas.
Let me make sure.
Carambas.
Yes.
Okay, there's an S.
With an S.
Yeah. So there's two ways you can order food at Carambas.
Oh, wait. Nope. Caramba.
Oh my God.
Sorry, we're going back and forth, y'all. It's Caramba.
Caramba. Okay. At Caramba, no S. There's two ways you can order food. You can order off the menu, which they have a lot of options on there that were great. Or you can order the fresh catch of the day, which is outside.
You see it before you even sit down.
You see it before you sit down on ice, and you walk out, and you have a gentleman that's waiting there for you, and he asks, pick up a plate, and you kind of point out what you want prepared that night. Yeah, well, I put a video up of it.
Hogfish? I've never had hogfish.
Lionfish?
Never had lionfish, but I've heard it's really good.
But they have a smorgasbord of everything. I'm talking about all the snapper that you want to eat. Yep. They had hogfish, they had tuna, they had mahi, scallops, prawns, stone crab, which I had never had before.
Lionfish.
Anything that you could think of that you would eat in Belize, they had. So we kind of got...
Oh, the stone crab. Oh, you did say stone crab.
Yeah, the stone crab was on point. Like I said, it's the first time I ever had it. I had blue crab, soft shell crab, never stone crab. But once you get your items picked out, you come back to your table, and the waiter comes up and he kind of asks you how you would like each fish or whatever prepared. And I mean, they can do it in like a garlic chipotle. They had, blackened, fried, There was another one
They
that
had like
they
garlic
had,
butter, regular garlic
like a
butter.
regular garlic butter, I think.
We went ham that night.
Yeah, we did. Like we were supposed to have like one big dinner at the end,
At the
but
end of the trip.
it wound up being at the beginning. But anyways, it worked out.
Balled out the first night.
Yeah. So, but it worked out, so we had, and we'll drop a video of this too in here, but I mean, we had a little bit of everything. And
one very happy Brandon.
had it all prepared in different ways, and we had leftovers.
And the beans and rice, and
yeah.
the coleslaw with jalapenos in it.
Dude, I'm telling you, if
it was,
you make
it was
coleslaw
just like southern,
right now,
just like southern coleslaw, but with
like
jalapenos.
Just jalapenos in it, and it was so good.
Thinly
Not
sliced.
like
thinly
sliced jalapenos in it. Like I'm gonna try. We
like
actually
the
made
same texture as the coleslaw. Like
yeah,
the same
like the same
width
kind of
and all
size
that.
and everything.
Oh,
But we made coleslaw like a couple weeks ago, and we forgot to do it.
I
But
know.
we're gonna, next time we make coleslaw, we're gonna drop some jalapenos in there because it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it, and I'm not really like a coleslaw dude.
Oh, I
like,
love coleslaw.
It's gotta be right.
I have to try it everywhere we go.
Yeah,
Not everywhere. I shouldn't say that. Some restaurants I'd be like, better not. But most places that, especially barbecue places,
yeah,
you gotta try the
usually have
coleslaw. Hell yes.
Yeah, but so we kind of splurged that night and had a really big dinner. So we were lucky.
We had leftovers too.
Yeah, because we had a place, we had a fridge and a microwave and an oven and everything, so we could heat it back up. But we were pretty lucky getting a table there because I will say that place is popping.
Another planning, amazing for Meg's.
Yeah,
planning.
we got there early we got there early and were able to get a table that kind of put us in the back because I will say this place takes reservations, and if you have a big group, forewarning, get a reservation.
It's small.
Or try
it's
to,
not a big place.
Yeah, it's a small place. Like if it had been like another like 2 people with us, we probably wouldn't have got a table. But the fact
we
it was
walked
just
in and it was like we must have had honeymoon written all over our faces. It was like, you have a reservation? No.
yeah.
Can we please stay?
Yeah. And luckily, like I said, they got us a table and everything, and it was well worth it. So shout out to Carumba.
Yeah.
For letting us, have a seat and everything. Good. But then after that, after being full, because we did get full, we went back to the room because we had to wake up to go fishing the next morning. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It took us a minute and a little bit of off-roading to find the dock.
Yeah.
The boat is literally it's the boat dock. And I'm like, I figured it was a boat dock. Which boat dock? And he's like, it's behind, this bar. It's the boat yard or the boat dock. Or the boat yard, I think, or something like that. And I'm like, okay. No shit. There was a sign when we finally got there that said the boatyard. And I was just like, okay, the boatyard.
And this does not come up on Google Maps.
No,
and
they make you go the wrong way. Don't use Google Maps while you're there because it makes you go the wrong way down one-way streets too.
Yeah. Good tip would be to, if you know or have an address to where you're going like the day before,
screenshot it.
Try to look at it and go that way during the day. So
just
you
screenshot it.
Kind of have a route to go. But we didn't really have that problem. It was pretty bright outside by 7 or 6:30 when we left or whatever. So
we were closer to the sun. Yeah. So it was like 6:15. The sun was up.
Yeah.
Like not coming up.
Up. Yeah.
So
that was pretty cool.
So met him.
Yep.
And what was the first thing we saw?
So we're at this dock. And of course, like I prefaced earlier, that I knew that there was still hope for a tarpon. And I was like waiting for Carlos to pull the boat around. And I was like looking out in the water. And you can believe me or not, but I'm telling the truth. I was looking at the water and I'm like, man, I wonder what kind of fish are down there right now. And I'm pretty sure you've probably done the same thing when you're about to go fishing. Like you just look in the water and you're like, man, I wonder what kind of fish are right there. And as soon as I thought that in my head, I didn't say it out loud, a tarpon rolled.
And I had never seen one. I had never seen one. We were both looking at the same spot. I was like, that was a tarpon.
And I was like, yep, it sure was. I was like, man, don't even tell Carlos to bring that boat around here. We're just going to
and it was
dock right here.
What is it? Probably like a little 25, 30 pounder. Like it was.
Yeah, like it wasn't a big one, but it was big enough to catch your eye for sure. Big enough to catch your eye.
I was like, that was a tarpon.
Yeah. So then I had that little glitter of hope drop in that, we might
get. Glimmer, glitter. You have glitter hope?
A glitter of hope. Yeah. Just a little bit. Not even a glimmer,
Oh
just a
my
little
god,
glitter.
I'm gonna do that from now on. Your glitter hope.
Just a little glitter of hope.
Okay.
And that we might, get into some tarpon later on and stuff. But kind of the plan was, since it was so windy, like we said earlier, that we're gonna go fish in the mangroves and kind of target more, snapper.
Mhm.
You told us we might have a chance of barracuda and stuff like that. And then of course there is some chance for some tarpon being in there, or juvenile tarpon back in the mangroves and stuff like that. So we had a plethora, I guess you say, of like target fish that we were going after, and it
Just
wasn't
a whole array of snapper. Like,
yeah,
so
all the
many
different kind
different
of
types of snapper.
Yeah, and of course we wanted to take advantage, of eating this good fish that we were about to catch. So that we were kind of targeting more, fish. We wanted to catch tarpon and everything, but like we were kind of targeting more fish that we could eat on this trip. We're gonna make another trip down there, and probably another and another and another, and we can do different stuff then. But we wanted to catch fish for the first time, at least, that we could take back and like have prepared at a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up being, usually most places is $25 a person.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
then
not
it's
bad.
like whatever
you bring in
you
however
catch that
much.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was multiple places on the island that you could get that done at. So just after seeing that tarpon roll and everything, that got us pretty excited about going fishing that day. And like a little bit after that, Carlos came around with the boat and everything. And we kind of told Carlos that, we wanted to go fishing, but also we like the adventure and seeing the culture and different things that go along with these places. I mean, that's for me is one of the reasons why I like going to these different places, to see how other people do stuff. So when he asked us where we were cruising out, he was kind of pointing at different islands and giving us kind of the history
I was geeking out
of
over
the
all
bay
the
and everything, and
Yeah.
what used to be what and who used to own this. And it was pretty cool because like a lot of guides, they don't do that necessarily. It's not a part of their exact job
They're not
description.
tour guides. They
Yeah,
don't have to
exactly.
be.
They're not tour guides,
Yeah.
but it was pretty cool for him to do that for us. And like I said, we've been striking gold on guides.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate.
Back to Captain Tim O'Connor over in Florida, now to Carlos down here in V-Land and Holding and everything. But we've been striking pretty gold with the guides, and he was a good one. So adding that into it, that aspect of like teaching us about the history and like how things were, evolved around in that area, it was really cool because he was a native. He had grew up there in Belize on the mainland, and he told us about his family and all that kind of stuff. So for him taking that extra step was pretty cool. Yeah. And then he dropped us off at not dropped us off, but
he dropped us off. No,
he took us to a ranger station that was out in the water, where it was built off the old Aztec mounds. So that was pretty cool to kind of like see the history of that.
Yeah, they had a little museum, and there was a lot of, I think there was some corpus research in that museum, actually.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see. And like all the history of the Aztec, and the mounds were built in a way with so the soil is different on those mounds after years and years. It's different than everywhere else. And so you have like massive papaya trees and avocado trees like growing in areas randomly throughout the area, because that's where that soil had been like compounded. I'm not really sure. I'm probably not doing it justice, but it was a different, unique soil compared to the rest of the area. So there was just like all kinds of fruit trees that were growing there.
Yeah, and the ranger that was there, he was pretty cool. He had 2 dogs with him, and then had a bunch of chickens and stuff that was living there, and ducks and everything. Had a big old was a big lizard that we saw too that was chilling out there.
Yes.
Like, so it was a pretty cool little stop for us.
That's where we got our sardines.
Yeah. And then when we came back out to get back on the boat, we looked over like right next to the mangroves, and there were sardines right there. So that was the bait we needed. So Carlos cast netted a big load of them, and we were set for the whole day. He probably even still had some left over. Like, that was a pretty big haul that we had right there. So that kind of cut down on some time, because we were going to have to find bait anyway, because we had stopped a couple places before that ranger station to find some, but we really didn't see any. So that was pretty cool. It was right there for us to just kind of keep motoring on. But the first place that we were going to go fishing that he told us about was a blue hole.
Yeah.
And you kind of a sinkhole. So
not the blue hole.
Yeah, not the blue hole, but the
sinkhole. The blue hole is a sinkhole.
Yeah.
But we went to a sinkhole that was
Exactly.
smaller. It was huge still, but I think the best way to explain it is that a lot of that area has fresh water under, like there's limestone throughout the island, and there are areas where it has collapsed and there's fresh water.
Yep.
There's no current at the bottom, like there's no life. It's very weird. Like we could probably post some of the video from our museum tour, but it was cool. So we explained that, and we pull up to one just to see if there's anything on the perimeter of it.
Yep.
And Brandon's looking, for some reason, he's looking the other direction, and Carlos and I are just kind of like, he just turned the engine off. We're rolling up to it, and we're both looking this way. And I thought I was seeing things, but it was like a school of about 8 to 10 huge jacks just mosey on by. And Carlos and I just looked at each other, wow! And of course, Brandon didn't see anything. I'm like, holy shit, you know? And so like, he's grabbing a rod. I'm trying to grab one. He's like, screw you. Like, he's trying to cast it out there. So, but they were gone. It was like the coolest thing ever to just start the day like that, though.
Yeah, looking off in the water. And then like seeing those fish just come up, and they were probably just like searching for bait right along the edge of that hole and everything. So
it was cool.
That was pretty cool. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see it. But
too bad.
I guess it'll buff out.
You get so jealous sometimes on the boat and stuff like that happens, and you're just like,
yeah, like I want to see it too, man. Like why couldn't I have been looking that way?
Only child problems.
Yeah, I guess so. But we fished that spot for a little while, and we had a couple bites, a couple little nibbles, but we didn't really hook up on anything. Yeah, it was kind of like it was weird. Like you would hit shallow spots, and then it would kind of drop off and get a little deeper. But like for the most part, I think it was around like at that spot, it was around like 15 or so feet or something like that. I think it's so.
That's a good guess.
I could be wrong.
As good as mine.
But anyways. We fished, like I said, fished there for a little bit, didn't catch any bites. And like I said, Carlos was awesome. He's like, hey, man, the fish aren't biting here. We're going to move off.
Yeah, he did tell us. He's like, if they don't bite, we're moving.
Yeah, we're going to head off into the mangroves. So then we kind of picked up and got on plane for a little bit, and made like a little cut, maybe like a mile or so. And then we started headed back up in this like kind of channel off into the mangroves, and then we made it like another little cut, and then it just started getting narrower and narrower and narrower to the point that we were barely squeezing through the mangroves.
Thinking real skinny.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though to be able to see the mangroves and like go through them that way.
We had heard about them. Sarah told us about them in Florida. Sarah and Chuck's son. Yeah, so the Garrisons are all pretty damn cool.
Yeah. When he fished them down there in the Everglades, but like going through these mangroves, it's weird because none of the life is above water. You can look down in the water and there's bait fish and everything going around, but for the most part, there's no life except for the termites.
Oh, weird. That was a really weird. Like, yeah, it's a termite mound.
Yeah, so there were termite mounds up in the tree, like where they all at a joint of a tree, they would make their mound around it. But other than that, that was the only life above water. But like going in, like I said, we saw a ton of bait fish swimming around. We even saw like a barracuda chasing bait fish when we were going through. And then, like I said, it got real narrow. We made it through there. And then we came out into this opening, similar to like a backwater lake, pretty much. And this is the spot that we were going to fish. So we had mangroves all around us. And then it's, like I said, this backwater lake. And then we started out just with a live bait, putting them on the line and trolling.
Just letting line out.
And then I was on one side and Meg was on the other. And at first, I started off pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple little nibbles, and then I hooked up on the first barracuda of the day, and that was the first time I ever caught a barracuda before. So that was pretty cool to catch one down there in Belize. It offered it was a little bit of a fight at first. Once you like kind of get a hold of them a little bit, they kind of give up. But at first they're kind of want to drag a little line, and, of course, get away from you. But yeah, so I caught that, and then I caught a mutton snapper. And then I was kind of getting on the board a little bit, and Megan was
I know.
Still struggling.
Oh no, my bait was getting eaten.
Yeah, your bait was getting eaten, but they wouldn't hook up on it.
Yeah.
But then you came back on, kind of quick after that, and you caught like 2 or 3 pretty much back to back.
One mangrove, I think, and then we went over to the other spot.
Yeah. So then we kind of trolled there for a little while, going back and forth, like I said, and then we caught those fish. We're already starting off the day with at least
enough for dinner.
Yeah, enough for dinner. Yeah. So we were already happy about that. But then Carlos wound up taking us over to this other little spot where these mangroves were kind of off by themselves in the middle of the water. and he kind of just pulled up, dropped anchor right there, and he said, "Hey man, we're just gonna pitch underneath there and see what comes out."
Oh,
And I mean,
this is
I
like
don't,
nostalgia.
yeah, like I don't know if you ever like found you a little perch hole, you know. But this is kind of what this was. Like, I mean, you take your hook up your bait, pitch it underneath there, drag it out a little bit, boom, and you're getting hit.
They just slam it
back to back to back to back to back. I mean, as
So much
soon as
fun.
we would drop it in there, we would get hit.
So you're like having casting contests at this point to see who can skip theirs.
Yeah, like you're picking spots and like trying to put your bait and be like, "Oh, that looks real
but
good
you can't
right
hit
there."
that pocket
but you can't
right
hit
there.
that spot right there. Just pitch it all in there, and sure enough, you put it in there, you get hit every single time. It was a lot of fun to hit that little spot. Then of course, a couple times, you know, you cast and get a little cocky, and then you toss it in a tree, and then we got stuck in the tree a couple times.
Had to blow up the spot because we had to pull the boat in there.
Yeah, but hey, if you're not trying, you know, you gotta, you know, test your limits, so you know for next time. It's all right. We already have fish in the boat.
Yeah.
So after that, we came and went to another spot, found another little pocket that Carlos fished at, and at first that one kind of started off a little cold, but that one heated up. Like, we started catching fish there. There was a barracuda that was there we tried to hook up with, but we didn't wind up catching him, but we caught a few more snapper and everything. And of course, so I mean, it was an awesome day of fishing with Carlos. Like, he was funny the whole time. Like, he was serious about wanting to put us on fish, but he also like gave us like the right service,
he's very personable.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And he's one of those people that he's super respectful. So, but if you spend enough time with someone, they get to know you and they get to relax. And like, we had a lot of fun with him, and it was funny. And he had some good one-liners, just like your other. Like, I don't know what it is about boat captains.
Yeah, they have some good
one-liners. But they both had some good ones.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
Like you said, we struck gold getting those two guys. You know, recently going on the trips that we've been on and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. But after we fished that hole, you know, we called it a day. We had a whole day with him.
It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. We still had a whole hour back to the dock.
Yeah, so we after that little spot, we headed back in, and then he kind of even on going back in to the dock, he was still even pointing out stuff.
Oh yeah, there was fish traps
and showing us and like different fish traps where like how they fish for different stuff right there. So it was pretty cool. Like you said, we had a great day on the water with him. We caught a lot of fish. Like, we were happy. Yeah. So after we got
up the story.
So after we got back to the dock, Carlos was like, "Hey, it's gonna take me a little bit, you know, clean the fish and everything. If y'all want to go back to the hotel, I'll just clean the fish and I'll come by and drop it off for you." And we're like, "Dude,"
because the boatyard's right behind the airport, which is not far from the hotel. Again, small island.
So we were like, "Dude, that's awesome." So we go back to the hotel. We're like, "Hey, we're just gonna hop in the pool right here. We've been out in the sun all day. We could have
yet to get in the pool until
we hadn't even gotten in the pool yet. So like, we're gonna hop in the pool, hang out here. That way, when Carlos calls us, you know, we're right here up front. We can walk out, pick up the fish from him. So we were like, "Yeah, well, by the time we get a drink, by the time we drove back, got a drink, and like, Carlos should be calling us." Yeah. So we get to the pool and have one drink. And then we had two, and then we got to the third one. And I was like, "Man, what happened to Carlos? Like, you know, not like, you know, where's he at? Like, he took our fish or anything, but like, something's got to be wrong." So Megan wound up getting a hold of him.
WhatsApp, which is another tip. Everybody uses WhatsApp over there.
So download it before you get there.
I called him on WhatsApp. He goes, text me, and he said, what exactly did he say? Something about how I'm at the ER. And then he sends me a photo of his leg. Yeah. And now let's preface the story.
Well, yeah, all day, not even all day, before we even got on the boat, he was like, "Hey, if we have a chance to get into some bigger fish, I have this set up right here, but be careful because the hooks are out, you know, when you're walking by." And every time that we even went to that side of the boat, throughout the day, he was like, "Hey, make sure you watch out. Hey, make sure you watch out. Like, anytime we stopped, we were going that way. Make sure you watch out for that lure."
So that same lure was in his calf.
Yeah.
Deep in there. And he basically said, you know, I'm running behind. Well, no crap. Like,
yeah.
Shit. So he was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm running." I'm like, "What? No rush." Like,
yeah, no rush. Dude, take your time.
So, you know, then he came maybe 45 minutes later, and I'm just like, all day you were telling us. So apparently the story was there was a kid climbing into his boat that was going to hit it. And so he went to go reach for the kid, and sacrificed himself.
Yeah, pretty much. So
is what I was told.
Good on Carlos, but
he was like, "Oh, they cleaned it out. It'll be fine. It'll heal."
Yeah, he's like, "I'll be fishing tomorrow."
Yeah,
I was like, "Golly,
he's making a living."
Yeah, but yeah, he's a tough dude. But he cleaned the fish for us and everything and brought it to us, and I mean, it was awesome. It's just sitting there in our hand looking at it. But that night, I think we just stayed at the hotel and ordered food there because they had some bomb-ass pizza.
They had bomb pizza and they had the chicken stew. So that's like one of the traditional dishes down there. It's the chicken stew. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Oh my gosh. Like, not simple like it sounds. Like, I don't even know. It was just so good.
Yeah.
And then I think we also ordered our first tres leches that night out of the many that we ordered to our room.
So I think, that was the first night we ordered it, and I think we ordered it every night.
Like 2 nights after that.
Yeah, it was so good. Like
the waitress or the
I'm
room
a sucker
service,
for some tres leches, and it was good.
She came in the third night. She goes, "It's good, huh?"
Yeah. She called us out a little bit on that, but hey, man, they make it good down there. Oh my
gosh!
But the original plan was that we were gonna kind of split up the fishing and go Friday and.
Oh yeah, we were gonna try to do at least
a half day on each day.
A half day on Saturday.
A half day on Saturday, and we just did the whole day on Friday. Mm-hmm. So we kind of we weren't leaving till Monday, so we kind of had like 2 days,
2 full days.
Yeah, 2 full days of like just doing whatever. And we kind of just wake up in the morning and like had breakfast there, or the first morning we went to
Marbox.
We went to Marbox and had brunch there.
It's a little bit further up the island.
Yeah, but it was a cool little spot. They had like this little egg sandwich that was awesome, and they also had one of my favorite drinks,
which I didn't think you would try until you were like, "I'll take one."
Yeah. One of my favorite drinks now was a margarita mimosa, which is champagne, orange juice, lime juice, and tequila. Which I like some tequila. So that was a good one. I don't know if you could do a whole picture of it, because even that glass that I had was like, this sucker's got some tequila in it, but
it's like having a floater in every single mimosa that you drink.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was pretty good, having that one. I had to drive that golf cart, so I didn't want to get,
Yeah, you had to. You would get pulled over. They were legitimate laws when you're on the roads.
Exactly.
So they were not kidding about that stuff.
So we had brunch there. We kind of walked around the beach.
We were gonna try to go to Truck Stop, but they were closed for
renovations
or something.
Yeah, that was another spot that had different food trucks and stuff there. Yeah, that'd have been cool to go to, but we didn't get to make it because they were closed down. But then pretty much we started. That was kind of further to the north end of the island. So that day.
Rum Dog.
Yeah.
Rum Dog Bar
303.
303.
Yeah.
Sandy Toes.
Yeah. So we kind of made our way back south that day.
We just kept parking.
And just we found a different bar and we go in and get a drink and then get an appetizer or something and try something. So that was pretty cool to just do that day. And then
the last day we really vegged.
The last day, which was Sunday, which is cool because they had they have Sunday barbecues. So all these different spots have barbecue that they're cooking and you can stop in. We stopped at the swim up bar, which was a pretty cool spot.
I forgot the name of it. I have it on my notes, but it was so cool. It was like a Sunday special. You get discounted barbecue.
So they had chicken, shrimp, and pork, I think they barbecued.
It was the coolest swim up pool. I'm going to have to look. Let me see what the name of it was, because it was a cool swim up pool for sure. Sandy Toes was cool because they had a beach.
Yeah.
The name definitely. There weren't that many that we found. If we had looked in the right places, maybe Secret Beach.
Yeah.
But Sandy Toes had the prettiest little beach you could walk out.
Yeah.
And then just they have little tables you can take your beer or whatever you need out there.
I'm sure Secret Beach was cool, but I like going to to the little hole in the wall spots that we kind of found when we were just riding around looking.
I should have.
But yeah, that place was cool. They had good drinks there, and I mean the people there, the service that you get, it's awesome. I mean, everybody, even all the the people that live there, they're trying to help you. Just trying to if you get lost or anything, they'll point you in the right direction. Make sure you're not going down the wrong way on a one-way street or anything.
Yeah, they don't yell at you. It's the opposite of New York. It's let me help you. You're going the wrong
exactly.
way.
It's what bar are you trying to get to?
Yeah,
they'll take you there. Yeah. So it was pretty. Like I said, it's an awesome place to go visit if you're wanting to. And it said Sunday we just rode around and ate barbecue all day. It was got
nice.
One of the roadside coconut. Yeah.
So we drove past this guy on the way to what we thought we were going to go to Secret Beach, but didn't end up going all the way. Turned around And this guy was like, we'd passed him. He's like, Brandon said on the way back. And
Yeah,
so like on the way
get
back.
one.
And I'm thinking in my head, and I'm like, man, it'd be cool if they had. And then as soon as I got like halfway through the thought, I'm like, if they had rum to give, and I'm like, they're gonna have rum.
Oh yeah,
to
definitely.
give.
They're gonna.
Not
have
only did they
rum.
have rum, they had all the different types of rum.
Yeah, you don't have to ask.
Plus
where's the rum?
tahine and ice cubes. They have like a little cooler, and it's
Yep.
hot, y'all. Like in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. Like they just have a whole setup for you.
Yeah,
It's
it was
super
pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a big coconut fan, but I mean,
You tried it.
I tried it. It was. If
That's
you like
good.
coconut, it was good, but I don't like coconut. But we did get to see some wildlife on that little
Oh my god!
trip
on that
trip too.
stretch.
Because when we turned
Well,
around,
okay, so Secret Beach. The reason why I say it was a long trip, it's like 10 miles up north of the
Yeah.
island.
so it's
so
a
it's
good
on a
hour
golf
and
cart.
15
I
minute
mean,
on a golf cart.
Right. So you go through a ton of. If you want to buy some real estate in Belize,
Which I'm down. Holla
drive
at me. We'll
from
go in on it.
main town, downtown San Pedro to Secret Beach, and tell me how many signs you see about buying a piece of land out there. And it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Some of the setups had, like, if you could imagine, I think of those bay houses,
Yeah.
right? That size, but like way nicer. And some of them you can tell it's like a little group of 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they have like the water collection tanks and
Mhm.
solar, and it's just like in
Yeah.
the middle. I mean,
Good little
they cut
retirement
out through the
vacation
mangroves
spot.
basically, and they put lots. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of empty lots between when you leave town to Secret Beach.
Yeah.
And there's water channels and ditches and stuff. And there was a friend.
Yeah. We see these people pulled over on the side of the road, and obviously they're looking at something. So as we get closer, we kind of pull up on it, and it's a crocodile.
Yeah.
Chilling in a ditch right there. And I mean, a pretty
A
good
head.
size
Just
one.
his
Like,
head.
yeah, his head was probably about that
Yep.
big. Like he was a good sized
Well,
crocodile.
nobody can see. So like
So,
2.5 feet
Yeah.
for his head.
So we're watching, get to look at him for a little while. Of course, we didn't have the camera with us then, but we didn't get to take any pictures of him. And like, I didn't even pull my phone out or anything. I just kind of wanted to look at him because I
Yeah.
knew as soon as I tried to pull my phone out, he would have gone away. But he did wind up
Sure
kind of
enough.
just like sinking down in the water.
Yep.
And it was just like real slow, like
Yep.
you see it in the movies and like on National Geographic. And it's like, man, it's weird because the water didn't move, and he's a big crocodile.
He was
And
in
he
a
just kind
ditch.
of like sunk down. And like, I don't think it was that deep,
No,
but he
it's
was
just-
still just chilling right there.
Mm.
But that was pretty cool to get to see that while we
Mhm.
were there. Cause a lot of people
Don't get to see 'em.
we were
Yeah.
talking to a couple that we told that
We
to.
wanna see one.
Yeah. And they were like, we've been down here multiple times. And we hadn't gotten to see
Yeah.
one. So that was pretty
I
cool.
would have been fine without seeing one, but that's. I mean, I'm just saying that's cool
No,
and all,
yeah.
but
Crocodile's
man.
pretty cool.
But
Always
yeah,
like
I mean,
checking out the wildlife.
Sunday it was just kind of like, for us it's so hard because like Brandon said, we didn't have so like if thinking about our honeymoon, it's like, okay, well, we want to film this and we want to film that and we want
Yeah.
to have like all of our stuff with us, but like we did a pretty good job of just taking the camera on the boat and like
Yeah.
chilling the rest of the time. We were so ready to get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you guys own your own business, you know that like vacations are great and necessary, but at the same time you're sitting there just like everything that needs to, I mean, you're just like,
Everything
you
that needs
can't
to be
help
done.
it. You really can't help like everything, even if you got work done ahead of time.
Yeah. You're still
So we were
calm.
ready to go home. I
Yeah.
mean, we had a really good time, but both of us, I think we're ready to go
Yeah,
home.
5 days was awesome to go for the first time to kind of like
It
experience
was 6
everything.
total.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
travel and everything. But I think like the next time now it'd be like a 3-day trip, or
Yeah.
like a long weekend or something like that, because you kind of like hone in on what you want to do. Of course, there's still some stuff we want to go try out,
Mhm.
and especially on the mainland.
I mean, we
'cause-
had to do honeymoon relaxing things.
Yeah, so it was
and
good.
Check that off the list. It was fun.
Yeah. So
Definitely
like I said,
recommend. It's a great
recommendation for
destination.
Belize for your honeymoon or just for a family trip.
Anniversary,
Yeah, because there's a lot of families there too.
Lots of family friendly.
Yeah.
And it's safe, y'all. Like, I know a lot of people talk about traveling. Actually, this is Brandon's international.
Yeah, it was my first trip
trip.
out of the country.
So his experience, he was like, it was super safe.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's like being in any city. If you're going to Dallas or you're in
just
Houston,
be aware.
hell, even here in Austin, definitely.
Yeah.
Just be aware. If you are traveling at night or
We
after
never.
dark,
I think there was
just
one
be
night we
with a
went to
group.
dinner.
Yeah, then that
right
was
before we
it.
left.
And I mean, even when we were driving back and it was dark, you didn't feel like that you were in trouble, like I like, or in danger or
No.
anything. Like I said, everybody on the island's nice. I mean, hell, when we were driving back and it was dark, they were partying at their houses and like having drinks
Yeah.
and still had some shops open and everything. So, like I said, it's a great place to go visit. And it's like I said, it's only 2.5 hour flight
Mhm.
from Houston. And they had a direct flight that I think is like 3 hours from Dallas. So, I mean, it's nothing but a little trip. I mean, if you plan ahead, catch one of the deals, you can get a flight for pretty
Southwest.
cheap. Yeah.
Well, and we forgot to mention the last night we went and had our fish prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did go do that on the last dinner.
Not Archer's, but oh goodness, what's the name of a fishing? Oh man, I can't believe I forgot the name of that. Anglers.
Yeah.
A fisherman, but an angler.
Yeah.
We went to Anglers and
took our fish there that we had caught.
Oh, they had good margaritas.
Oh, they did.
They were good margaritas.
And then
they
got our fish
blackened,
fried,
and the garlic butter.
Butter. And we had leftovers
and
from
there was
that too.
Mounds of fish.
Oh, it was like I said.
And it was like half of it. Carlos gave us half. He took half.
Yeah, we gave it because, like I said, we had a lot of fish that day.
Family.
Exactly. So, like I said, if you want to, we'll drop a lot of the places that we went to and visited in the show notes if you want to check them out. If you have any questions, if you want to get in touch with V-Land Holdings, you can shoot them a message on Instagram, or y'all can shoot us a message and we'll get you in touch with Joe and everybody. And we've kind of been floating the idea around.
Speaking of,
we're either friends with or gone hunting with a lot of guides and stuff, either for fishing or for hunting too. So if y'all think it would be beneficial for y'all if we put together like a little list of, preferred guides and stuff, I mean, we could break it down by species that you want to go after, anything like that, drop a comment on the YouTube channel. Let us know on Tejas Hunt Club on our Instagram and the Facebook page that we have up now for the podcast. So search it on Facebook. We have the group on Facebook, and then we also have the podcast page. So either one of those, shoot us a message if you would think that'd be beneficial for y'all, or if y'all have friends or anything like that. Yeah. Or
take us for an experience.
Yeah. Or if you want to say, if you're an guide or an outfitter or something like that, we can work out where, we do a podcast to kind of get your message out, and then, we can shoot some content, do different stuff. So we're open to a lot of things, and hopefully we can bring this information back to all of y'all that listen to the podcast.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know. Send us a message.
Yeah, because we really, like I said, we really appreciate y'all listening to the podcast and everything. And just because you're listening, we want to bring some value back to y'all. So as a thank you for listening to our journey,
and to the people who they're going to book with, because we love them.
Exactly, and they do a good job, and we want to pass along the business. So thanks for listening, guys. Another great episode. And
that was probably the funnest one I've done, I think. I know you've done a lot of really cool ones. This doesn't rank, golly. So dismissive.
No, it ranks pretty high. I dig it.
Okay, I'm glad.
Decent. Catch y'all next time, guys.
Bye, y'all.